Archangel Michael says, a divine miracle payment has already been released in the heavenly realm, and it carries your name, your destiny, and your future within it. But if your heart delays, if you hesitate and skip this, it may disappear forever, like morning dew vanishing in the heat of the sun. This message has come at a time when heaven is trying to reach you in the most gentle but urgent way, because there is something prepared just for you that has already been signed, sealed, and stamped with God's unshakable love. You were not forgotten, not for a second, even when you felt like no one saw your pain, and not even your silent prayers escaped the attention of the one who holds eternity in his hands. Type 1010 if you trust in God's timing. There is a grace over your life that has withstood more than you even realize. You have walked through storms that tried to silence you, and you have cried tears no one else knew about, yet you kept going. The angels of God have watched over you in the loneliest hours, standing guard while you slept with heaviness in your chest. And even when the world around you seemed cold, heaven still held you in the warmth of God's promise, whispering to your soul, "You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are mine." That same promise is now being activated in your life, and this miracle payment is more than material. It is a divine unlocking of things that have been delayed for far too long. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you thank God for every new day. There are seasons in a person's life when it feels like nothing is moving, like the heavens have been silent and the answers are far away. But this is not one of those seasons. This is a turnaround season. This is a divine interruption. This is the moment where all of heaven is declaring over your life, enough delay, enough suffering, enough loss. What has been withheld is now being released, and your name is written on the blessing that is coming. This isn't about chance or luck or coincidence. This is about divine timing. God's time. A time that cannot be rushed or delayed when He says, "Now." The pain you've carried was never in vain. The long nights you stayed awake wondering when things would change were seen by the heart of God. You didn't lose your value just because people overlooked you. You didn't lose your worth just because some doors didn't open. And you didn't lose your place in God's story just because you stumbled. In fact, your place was preserved. Your promise was protected. Your purpose was still on track, even when life made it feel like everything was falling apart. And now, that preserved miracle, the one that was held just for you, is being released. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. If only you could see what the angels are seeing right now. If you could hear the songs being sung in heaven about your coming breakthrough. If you could feel the joy that surrounds your name as this miracle payment is dispatched into your life. You are not too late. You have not missed it. But the urgency you feel in your spirit is real, because this is not a message to scroll past. This is a moment that needs your heart to be open, your faith to be awakened, and your hope to rise again even if life has crushed it down again and again. Type 2020 to claim joy and strength. There have been things you've prayed for that didn't happen the way you thought they would, but that doesn't mean they won't happen. God's miracles rarely come in the packaging we expect. Sometimes the path includes delays so your heart can learn trust. Sometimes the answer is hidden in seasons of silence so you can learn to hear God even when everything is still. But the payment, the miracle, it never stopped moving toward you. It has been traveling through divine time, through heavenly processes, and now it stands at your door. Not a literal door, but the door of your heart, your spirit, your belief. Will you open to it? There is someone reading this right now who is standing at the edge of giving up. You've been holding on for so long that your hands feel weak. You've tried to believe, but the disappointments have been louder than the promises. You've smiled in front of others, but inside you've been broken, unsure of how much longer you can keep holding on to faith. And yet, here comes this message. Not by chance, not by random scrolling, but because God orchestrated every step to make sure you wouldn't miss what belongs to you. Not this time. Not again. Heaven doesn't operate on human time. It's not too late, no matter how delayed it seems. When God says it's your time, no one can say otherwise. This miracle is not just about money. It's not about a number in a bank account. It's about restoration. It's about healing. It's about joy returning to your soul. It's about peace that cannot be shaken. And yes, provision is part of it too, because God knows the weight that finances have put on your heart. He knows the pressure, the fear, the sleepless nights. And He cares. Deeply. Don't let this pass you by. Don't silence that tug in your heart telling you this is for you. The enemy wants you to skip this, to scroll past, to dismiss it as another moment. But this isn't just a moment. It's the beginning of something sacred. A release that carries your name in heaven. A miracle that will not just bless you but will overflow into those around you. A divine transaction that heaven initiated, and only your faith can receive. Stay with this message. Let your heart believe again. There is more, and it's already on the way. There are moments in a person's life when the winds shift and suddenly, what once felt impossible becomes reachable. You are in that moment. And it doesn't matter how long you've waited or how many times you've been denied, because this time, the release is not dependent on the approval of man. This is coming straight from God's hands, from the highest courts of heaven, where the verdict has already been declared in your favor. The waiting season was not a punishment. It was a preparation. And what was once delayed is now being accelerated. You may not see it with your natural eyes yet, but something in the spirit is already changing. Things are beginning to align. The same way seeds begin to crack open underground before anything is visible on the surface, your breakthrough is already in motion. God has seen your faith, even when you had tears in your eyes and weariness in your soul. He saw the moments you gave out of your lack, the times you encouraged others even when you were discouraged yourself. And He remembers every quiet sacrifice you made that no one clapped for. All of it is part of the miracle that is being returned to you now, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. Type 111 if you believe miracles are near. This release is not a reward for being perfect. It is a response to your faith. You didn't need to have everything together. You didn't need to be without flaws. You just needed to keep holding on, even when everything in you wanted to let go. And you did. You held on through the heartbreak. You held on through the silence. You held on when people let you down, when resources dried up, and when you didn't have answers. That kind of faith is rare. That kind of faith moves heaven. And heaven has moved for you. You are not forgotten in the crowd. You are not invisible to God. He knows your name, your story, your dreams, your losses. He knows the details of what you've carried silently. He knows the strength it took to keep going when life was loud with pain. And now, He is speaking clearly through this message. You are seen. You are loved. You are chosen for this miracle. This isn't just about what's coming to you. It's about what's awakening within you. The gift of faith. The flame of hope. The assurance that God has not changed His mind about you, even when you've doubted yourself. Stay until the very end, because these words hold a secret that heaven has been waiting to reveal. There is no room for fear in this moment. No space for shame or regret. What is being given to you is not based on your past. It is based on the promises of a God who never lies, who never sleeps, and who never abandons His children. What you need to know now is this: the door is open. The release is active. And the angels are surrounding your life with protection and peace so that nothing can block this flow. You are walking into a season where things that once felt stuck will suddenly begin to shift. Where empty places will begin to fill. And where your soul will finally breathe again. God has already seen the next chapter of your life, and it is nothing like the one you are leaving behind. There is laughter coming where there was once mourning. There is abundance coming where there was once lack. And there is joy rising in the places that were once filled with sorrow. The payment isn't only financial, though finances are being restored, it's also spiritual, emotional, and deeply personal. It's the kind of miracle that touches every corner of your life with light, with truth, and with undeniable grace. You don't need to explain to anyone what you're feeling right now. Let the tears fall if they come. Let your heart break open in quiet surrender. Because what's coming into your life is going to make sense of everything that didn't make sense before. It will feel like pieces of a puzzle clicking into place after years of wondering where they belonged. And when it happens, you'll realize that none of the pain was wasted. Not a single moment was ignored by heaven. Everything was being woven into this exact moment. What if 7 minutes of sound could end years of financial struggle and replace it with freedom, prosperity, and peace? This ancient frequency, once locked away in secret government research, is now changing lives everywhere. Imagine bills erased, doors opening, and sudden windfalls flowing into your hands. But every delay is wealth lost forever. Click the link in the video description and comments below to switch on your money wave, and claim abundance today. This is sacred ground you're standing on. Not because of anything you've done, but because of the one who is calling your name in this very hour. Don't rush past this. Don't silence the voice inside you that's whispering, "This is for you." Because it is. And nothing can take it from you, unless you walk away and let it go. But if you stay, If you hold on, if you dare to believe just one more time, heaven will show you what it looks like when God answers not just with words, but with wonders. Type Amen to trust God's plan for your life. There is something sacred about a blessing that comes after a long season of brokenness. It humbles you. It softens you. It makes you look back not with bitterness, but with deep understanding that every tear, every quiet heartbreak, every silent prayer was heard, and now has become part of the beauty of your testimony. The angels did not miss your pain. God did not overlook your struggle. And now, all of it has turned into the evidence of just how faithful He has been behind the scenes of your life. This miracle is not an act of chance, it is the result of God's intentional and unstoppable love for you. You are not walking into this blessing empty. You are carrying the wisdom of survival, the depth of endurance, and the quiet courage of someone who never stopped believing. Even when you could barely whisper your prayers, you still whispered them. Even when your hands were trembling with fear, you still lifted them. Even when your heart was weary with questions, you still trusted in a way that heaven honors. And now, what was held in waiting is being given. Fully. Freely. Without resistance. This is your moment to receive what belongs to you. It will not look like it did before. Because this blessing has been refined by the fire you walked through. It has been shaped by the things you've overcome. This time, what's coming will last. This time, it will not be taken away suddenly. This time, the blessing is not only for comfort but for transformation. It will change not only what's around you, but what's within you. You will see yourself differently. You will stand taller, with a heart that knows you are not forgotten and never were. Many around you may not understand the depth of what you've been carrying. They may not know how close you came to giving up. But heaven knows. And this miracle that's being released is personal. It's specific. It's tailored to the needs no one else fully saw. It will reach the very areas where you felt most unseen, most broken, and most forgotten. The healing that will follow this blessing will not only restore you, it will revive you. Your laughter will return. Your dreams will breathe again. Your hope will begin to speak louder than your fears. Let yourself be still for a moment and feel what's happening around you. There's a quiet wind in the spirit. A soft stirring. A divine movement. Something gentle but powerful is touching your life even now. It is the hand of God, reaching for you again, calling you not to strive, but to rest. Not to fear, but to trust. Not to earn, but to receive. The battle is not yours to fight anymore. The battle is over. And the victory has already been declared in your favor. This release is not coming as a result of the world's systems. It is not dependent on what the economy looks like, or what people think about your qualifications. It is not bound to logic, because it comes from a kingdom that works by faith. And because you believed, even when you had every reason not to, you are now walking into something supernatural. The kind of blessing that cannot be explained by effort alone. The kind that leaves others wondering how it happened. And all you will be able to say is, God did it. Type 3030 if you believe Jesus lives in your heart. Don't rush the process of this unfolding. Let it come like the sunrise, steadily, faithfully, gently breaking through the darkness. You've been in the night for a long time, but the light is coming now. This message is not meant to entertain you. It is meant to reach you. To shake you from the numbness life has caused. To breathe hope into the parts of you that have grown tired. To pull you out of the shadows of delay and into the light of divine fulfillment. The wait is over. The heavens are open. And your name is written on the release. You don't have to beg for what God already said is yours. You don't have to fight for what He has already assigned to your life. Your only task now is to stay open. To keep your heart soft. To remain expectant. Because it's not just one moment of breakthrough that's coming, it's a flow. A season. A series of divine shifts that will change everything. This is only the beginning, and the angels are standing by, not to observe, but to assist. You are not stepping into this alone. You are being carried into it with the full force of heaven behind you. You see, heaven has been watching over you with care that no one else could offer. While people saw your smile, God saw your struggle. While you kept pushing forward day after day, hiding the ache in your chest, God saw how fragile your soul had become. He never left your side. He never took His eyes off of you, not even for a single moment. And now, everything that has been collecting in silence, every tear, every prayer, every hope you dared not speak out loud, has risen up before Him and triggered this miracle that's being poured out upon you like rain after a long dry season. This isn't just a moment of financial blessing. It's a full restoration of everything that has been touched by loss. The years you spent waiting are about to make sense. The people who left your life were never meant to carry this part of your blessing anyway. The places where doors slammed shut were only detours meant to keep you from settling for less than what God destined you to have. And now, every detour, every heartbreak, every delay is being turned into a pathway of favor, grace, and abundant provision. There is a holiness surrounding your life right now, a divine atmosphere that's impossible to see with human eyes but is fully alive in the spiritual realm. The angels are not simply watching over you, they are moving on your behalf. Assignments have been released. Chains have been broken. And the blessings that were held up are now on their way, unhindered and unstopped. This is not a time for doubt. This is not a time to give in to fear or silence your faith. This is the time to stand in quiet trust and say, I receive. Type, I believe, if you believe miracles are on the way. The release is already active. It is moving through the very atmosphere that surrounds your body, touching your home, your family, your future, and every area of your life that has cried out for change. You may not feel it all at once, but it is already flowing. Like rivers that begin to rise far upstream before reaching the land below, the blessing has already started. And you will begin to see signs in your spirit, in your emotions, in your daily moments, that will remind you something greater is happening beneath the surface. The truth is simple, you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. This miracle isn't just for your comfort, it's for your calling. God is not just releasing blessing to help you survive. He is giving you what you need to thrive. He is lifting the weight that's kept you from dreaming, from planning, from hoping again. He is returning your energy, renewing your strength, and opening doors that felt permanently closed. He is taking what the enemy meant to destroy you and turning it into fuel for your future. Your story isn't ending in lack. It is beginning again in overflow. You've walked through dark valleys. You've faced days where everything in you felt empty. You've heard lies in your mind that tried to tell you that maybe this is all there is. But those voices were not from God. Because God has been preparing something behind the curtain of your current circumstances. And when that curtain lifts, which is happening now, what will be revealed will be so full of light and beauty and purpose, you will barely recognize the person you were when you were still in waiting. You won't need to beg people to see your worth. You won't need to chase love, or chase opportunities, or force yourself into spaces that were never designed for you. This miracle payment, this divine release, will align you with what truly belongs to you. You will stop fighting for scraps because God is preparing a table. Not a temporary handout, but a full, overflowing table of grace and favor and fulfillment. And at that table, you will not feel shame. You will feel seen, known, loved, honored, restored. Let your soul breathe now. Let it take in the truth of this moment. Let it lay down the fear it's carried for so long. You are safe in God's hands. This miracle is a reflection of His heart for you. It's not too late. You haven't missed it. You haven't failed too deeply. You haven't gone too far. Everything the enemy tried to use to make you feel disqualified is being washed away. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not forgotten. You are a child of the Most High, and heaven is responding to your name. All God needs is your yes. Not a perfect faith. Not an unshakable strength. Just your willingness to receive. To believe that maybe, just maybe, this message has come to you not by mistake, but by design. Because it has. And if your heart is open, heaven will do the rest. The delays you experienced were not denials. They were divine pauses, carefully placed to preserve you for something better than what you were reaching for. You may not have understood it at the time. You may have wept in confusion, asking why things felt stuck or silent. But heaven was never late. Every second that passed was part of a divine countdown, and now that timer has struck 0. What has been held for you in heaven is now being released into your life, gently, powerfully, and without delay. You are being ushered into a new chapter, and this one will not repeat the pain of the last. This chapter carries restoration, joy, and alignment. This chapter is written not in sorrow, but in promise. Not in fear, but in freedom. Not in wandering, but in arrival. You are not going in circles anymore. You are being guided forward by the hand of God Himself, who has never once stopped believing in you, even in the moments when you struggle to believe in yourself. Type 222 if you trust that God is with you always. This payment isn't just coming in numbers. It is arriving in clarity, in peace, in new beginnings, in closed wounds finally healing. It is showing up in the form of strength you forgot you had, in divine ideas that feel like sudden sparks, in people who are being positioned to bless you without asking for anything in return. The flow has begun, and it is not coming from the world's system. It is coming straight from the storehouses of heaven, where no thief can steal, no rust can corrupt, and no man can take what God has ordained. You are being called out of survival mode. You are being led out of scarcity, fear, and self-doubt. That heavy cloud that has followed you for years is lifting. That sense of, nothing ever works for me, is breaking. That lie that said, you're always going to struggle, is being silenced forever. Because now, God is showing you what it looks like when favor takes over. What it feels like when grace begins to work on your behalf. What it means when heaven says, you are next. Type Amen if your faith is strong, and share this video with 9 people of faith to welcome blessings and miracles into your life. You don't need to try to figure out how it will happen. That's not your burden. God never asked you to understand the method. He only asked you to trust the promise. And you have. You've trusted through loss. You've believed through setbacks. You've worshipped even while worrying. And all of that was seen. None of it was wasted. Every seed of faith you've planted in tears is now returning to you in joy, and this miracle payment is just the beginning of what God is about to unfold in your life. There's a reason why this message found you today. There's a reason why your spirit couldn't ignore it. Deep down, you know it's not a coincidence. Deep down, something inside you recognizes the truth of what is being said, not because the words are fancy or loud, but because they are drenched in divine truth. This is your moment. This is your confirmation. This is heaven's whisper becoming heaven's move. The blessing is not just to pay a bill or cover a need. It is to shift your life entirely. It is to release you into a place where you no longer feel like you're barely surviving. Where you no longer feel like you have to explain your worth or beg for opportunity. This is your season of overflow, but not just materially, emotionally, spiritually, relationally. You are going to laugh again, dream again, live again with fullness and freedom that you have not felt in years. Don't allow the past to talk you out of receiving this. Don't let the memory of disappointment make you shrink away from what's coming. You are not the same person who went through those dark seasons. You've grown. You've healed. You've been refined. And now, you are ready. Not because everything in your life is perfect, but because your heart is finally prepared to carry what heaven is giving. You've proven that you can be trusted with blessing, because you've been faithful in lack. And now, the tide is turning. You will look back on this moment and remember it as the day something changed. Not in the outside world first, but in your spirit. You believed. You allowed yourself to hope. You said yes to what God was releasing. And from that yes, everything began to move. Doors opened. Hearts softened. Favor chased you down. Because the moment you agreed with heaven, the miracle began to manifest. Type 333 to welcome peace into your heart. This release has come not because of what others said about you, not because of status or favor from people, but because God Himself decided that now is your appointed time. Not only to receive, but to rise. To step into a season where the pressure you carried becomes the platform for your promise. Where the suffering you endured becomes the soil for supernatural growth. This is not just restoration, this is divine elevation, and it is not random. It is deeply intentional, and you are the one it is meant for. There is a sweetness to this blessing that words can barely capture. It doesn't only touch your external world, it reaches the deep places inside your soul. The places that were bruised by delay. The parts of your heart that silently shut down because too much time passed and too many prayers went unanswered. But God has not been inactive. He has not been ignoring your cry. He has been preparing this very moment, where heaven meets earth in your life, and everything changes in a quiet but undeniable way. This miracle payment carries evidence that God has been listening. It carries the fragrance of mercy, the weight of divine intention, and the depth of love that cannot be earned, only received. It will show up in ways you didn't expect. Through people you never imagined. In moments that catch you off guard with grace. It will show up in the way your heart begins to trust again. In the way peace settles over your home. In the way new doors begin to open without the force of your effort, simply because favor has now gone before you. You will begin to walk differently. Not with arrogance or pride, but with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are held. You are backed by heaven. You are not chasing after blessings, they are now chasing after you. And wherever you go, whatever you touch, will begin to reflect the glow of what God has placed upon your life. Because this miracle was never meant to be a one-time rescue, it was meant to be the beginning of a new way of living. A life that flows from heaven's abundance and not the world's scarcity. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. There is healing being released in areas you stopped asking about. Wounds you thought were permanent are now being touched by the hand of God. You don't have to fix yourself to be worthy of this. You don't have to pretend you're not still hurting. God is not waiting for perfection, He's simply looking for surrender. And you've given Him that. In tears. In silence. In tired but faithful prayers. You gave Him your yes even when you had nothing else to give. And now He is giving you more than you thought was even possible. There is nothing you need to chase. You don't have to beg anyone to believe in you. You don't have to knock on closed doors, hoping they'll open again. When God blesses you, no one can stop it. When God sends something with your name on it, it cannot be delivered to another. This miracle payment will reach you, not because of your striving, but because of your place as God's beloved. And what comes with it will restore not only what you lost, but what you never thought you'd have. There are blessings you haven't even dared to dream about, because life taught you to settle. But God has never been a God of barely enough. He is the God of overflow. And that is what this miracle is bringing, not just enough to get by, but more than enough to rebuild, to bless others, to walk in freedom, and to breathe without fear of the next storm. You've seen the valley, but now you will see the mountaintop. You've seen the drought, but now you will drink deeply from waters that never run dry. Type 444 if you believe in God's divine protection. Let this message be the anchor that holds you steady. Let it wrap around your heart like a warm blanket after a cold season. Let it remind you of everything that still lives inside of you, the dreams, the purpose, the calling that never left, only waited for the right time. And now, that time is here. Heaven has not forgotten you. God has not passed you by. This blessing has been yours all along, and now, it is being placed in your hands. Heaven was listening. And not just listening, but moving. Even in the silence. Even when it seemed like nothing was shifting. Every moment of endurance was counted. Every trial was measured. Every act of kindness you showed others while carrying your own burdens was seen by God. And now, the blessing that was stored for this season has matured, and nothing can delay it any longer. It is being sent to you with perfect timing, because God knows what you need even better than you do. You will notice a change in the atmosphere around you. Things will begin to feel lighter. Conversations will start to shift. Old burdens will suddenly lose their weight. This is not by accident, it is a result of divine movement. The wind of God's presence is blowing gently over your life, making way for favor to take root where despair once grew. You are being prepared for ease, for increase, for divine encounters that you didn't have to chase, because they were always meant to find you. The weariness in your spirit is being lifted. You've carried so much for so long that you forgot what it feels like to breathe freely. But that changes now. This payment is a spiritual breakthrough as much as it is a financial one. God is pouring peace into places where there's been fear. He is pouring purpose into places where you felt lost. And He's replacing confusion with clarity so you can move forward without second-guessing every step. There is a stillness coming over your heart that will silence every lie that said, "You are forgotten." Let this be your turning point. Let this be the moment where your spirit starts to believe again, not because you see it yet, but because something deep inside knows this is real. Heaven does not tease. God does not speak in vain. What has been declared over your life is not a vague promise, but a concrete, sealed move of heaven. And you are being given the strength to walk into it with open hands and a willing heart. No more begging. No more wondering if you're worthy. No more shrinking yourself to fit spaces that were never made for you. This miracle is drawing you out into wide open places. Into rooms where your name has already been spoken with honor. Into opportunities that were set aside for you long before you even knew to ask. Into peace that doesn't depend on your circumstances but flows from the Spirit of God who surrounds you. This is where your mourning turns to laughter. This is where what was taken is returned sevenfold. This is where what was lost is restored, renewed, and multiplied. Not because of what you did, but because of who you are to God. You are not a number. You are not a burden. You are His. And heaven is proving that now by placing this blessing directly in your path, waiting for you to reach out in faith and take hold of it. Type 555 to receive blessings and miracles. Let your heart rest from the striving. Let your thoughts be free from overthinking how this will happen. It's already happening. Right now. Things are moving. Answers are coming. The right people are being drawn toward you. And what you need will find you not through force, but through favor. The kind of favor that doesn't make sense to the world but makes perfect sense to the God who loves you with an everlasting love. You are entering a time of visible miracles. A season where the fruit of your faith will no longer be invisible. People who saw your struggle will now witness your redemption. They will see how God never abandoned you, how He never left you stuck, how He always had something greater planned even when you were down to your last hope. And you will walk into that blessing not with pride, but with humble awe, knowing that it was never about what you could do, but about what God always intended for you to receive. Let this message settle deep within you. Let it break the heaviness that's been weighing you down. Let it be the voice you needed to hear, not from the world, but from heaven. Because God's voice is clear right now. And it's saying, the miracle is yours. Don't turn away. Don't skip this moment. Receive it fully. This miracle comes with authority. It does not knock timidly. It does not arrive unsure of its purpose. It comes to reverse every attack that tried to convince you that your life would always be marked by lack, disappointment, or pain. It comes with light, to scatter every shadow that's lingered too long. It comes with clarity, to answer questions that have tormented your peace for years. And it comes with love, a kind of love that reminds you God never turned His face from you, not even once. You are not stepping into something temporary. What's being opened in your life is meant to last. It is meant to carry you into a future where you no longer have to fear what's next. A future where your trust in God is not strained by lack, but strengthened by abundance. A future where you don't have to keep rebuilding from broken pieces, because now, the foundation is being laid by the one who cannot fail. The weight is lifting. The pressure is breaking. The tight places are opening. And this is not just symbolic, it is real. For years, you have been the one to give, to carry, to love even when it wasn't returned. You have been the strong one in the storm, the encourager even when you were discouraged, the light for others while walking through your own dark tunnel. Heaven has recorded it all. Not one silent act of love, not one hidden sacrifice has gone unnoticed. And now, the divine scale is tipping in your favor. The same measure with which you gave will be returned to you, not equally, but multiplied, expanded, overflowing in ways you never imagined possible. The miracle that is coming will not only change your environment, it will change your identity. No longer will you see yourself through the lens of your mistakes or your failures. No longer will you shrink your dreams out of fear that they're too big. This miracle is going to awaken the boldness inside of you. The confidence that you lost in the chaos is being restored. The vision that once burned bright is returning. And the voice you silenced in order to survive is about to rise again with power. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. Type 666 if you trust in God's grace and mercy. This is divine justice. What the enemy tried to steal, twist, or delay is being returned. The hands of darkness that interfered with your joy, your relationships, your finances, and your health are now being forced to release what they took. God's decree has been spoken. And when heaven speaks, no power in hell can overrule it. The blessing that was once tangled in warfare is now being loosed by the hand of God Himself. It is coming to you clean, whole, blessed, protected, and sealed. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where God needs you to be for this miracle to reach you. And even the times you stumbled were woven into the journey. Even your setbacks were not strong enough to break the plan God has for you. That plan is still unfolding. And the payment being released now is just the beginning. It is the seed that will grow into something far bigger than what you thought you were asking for. God is answering in overflow. Let your heart dare to believe. Let yourself hope again. Hope is not weakness, it is the power that connects you to the miracles waiting to unfold. And this one is already here. You are not being teased with possibility. You are being invited into divine reality. The same God who kept you through the worst is now ushering you into the best. Not by force, but by love. Not by pressure, but by grace. Close your eyes, even just for a moment, and breathe in the truth of what is being spoken over your life. Let your spirit absorb it like water after a long drought. Let your fears fall off. Let your guard come down. You don't have to protect yourself anymore. God is covering you. The angels are surrounding you. And heaven is backing every promise spoken over your life. This is the moment. This is the change. This is the release. All you need to do is remain open. Keep your heart soft. Keep your spirit in position to receive. Because what's coming is not small. And it's not a maybe. It's here. It's yours. It's already moving toward you. You've walked through seasons where you gave without seeing a return, where you poured love into others and barely felt noticed, where you stayed faithful even when the results made you question everything. But your faith did not go unheard. It did not go unrewarded. Every act of trust became a seed, and every seed has now begun to bloom. Heaven has not forgotten the weight of your yes, and this payment, this miracle, is a divine response to all the times you said yes to God even when your heart was breaking. You may have been overlooked by people, but you were chosen by heaven. You may have been rejected in places where you tried to belong, but God has prepared a space for you where you don't have to prove anything, you simply receive. This miracle is heaven saying, I saw you. I remember. I kept every promise safe for this exact moment. The timing is not a mistake. The way this message reached you is not a coincidence. God aligned every second to make sure you would not miss this. Because what's being released now carries the power to change the next years of your life. Type "I love God" to claim abundance through God's love. This blessing will break cycles. It will shatter patterns of lack, fear, and limitation. It will bring fresh vision, and it will restore the part of you that stopped dreaming. You were never created to live in survival mode. You were not born to stay stuck in places where your soul couldn't breathe. This miracle is breaking open new paths, new possibilities, new peace. You will no longer feel like you're carrying everything on your own. The burden is lifting, not just spiritually, but tangibly. God is sending help. Not just in words, but in actions. Real support. Real solutions. Real connections. People who understand your heart. Opportunities that honor your worth. Doors that don't require you to shrink to fit through. The world may not understand how it's happening, but you will know, deep in your soul, that this was always the plan. That all the waiting, all the tears, all the quiet holding on was leading here. Let the healing begin. Let it touch the places in you that have been guarded for years. Let it wash over the corners of your soul where fear built walls. This miracle is not coming to a version of you that has to be perfect. It's coming to the real you, the one God loves without conditions, without explanations, without requirements. You are enough for this blessing. You are ready, even if you don't feel like it. And God is not asking you to earn what He already paid for in full with His love. The angels assigned to your life are not standing still anymore. They are moving swiftly, carrying instructions from the throne of God to release favor over you. They are shifting things behind the scenes, breaking open resources, canceling delays, softening hearts, and clearing obstacles. You may not see it yet, but the spirit realm is already active with answers that will show up in ways that feel sudden but were long prepared. And when it comes, when the emails are answered, when the doors swing open, when the unexpected yes comes, you will feel it. Not as a shock, but as a holy confirmation. Because even though you didn't know the details, your spirit already knew something was coming. That's why you didn't give up. That's why, no matter how tired you became, you still showed up. Still hoped. Still tried. And now, that faith is being honored. Your name is still written in light. Your destiny is still protected. Your path is still unfolding with divine timing. And now, this miracle payment is proof that heaven never gave up on you, not for a second. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today.